I'm Allendale's chief meteorologist Ryan Martin with a look at your midday weather update. Big topics of conversation today are when is it going to rain in the hard red winter wheat belt and when's it going to rain in former Soviet Union, Russian areas. Other big topics of conversation today are the cooler air that's pushing into the U.S. Corn Belt. None of these items are overly exciting or shocking at this point. I think the one thing that we probably need to pay attention to the most is talk of rain coming into the hard red winter wheat belt toward the end of this week and through the weekend is probably a little overdone, at least in my estimation. There is a system that's going to be working close, but we're seeing that this system really wants to stay on a track that is similar to what we've seen recently, which means moisture comes southward through eastern parts of Colorado. It's not even that fantastic there, but then it dives farther south into parts of Texas and Oklahoma. The biggest areas of concern on wheat right now are in Kansas and even into parts of Nebraska. And you know what? Those are the areas that I believe we might see miss the rain in a big way overall. And even if you do look at moisture coming in, some of the maps that are out there are just trying to make it look a little bit better than it actually is, covering, for example, the entire state or 90% of the state of Kansas with a nice little green color. But if you look at the moisture totals on some of these maps, it's a few hundredths of an inch, maybe a tenth in spots. Not going to hardly be enough to do anything in that part of the world. So let's not get too excited about rain potential in the hard red winter wheat belt yet. We'll have to just see how it emerges. Honestly, I think if there's going to be any talk of rain in the wheat belt, you got to push it back. Not this weekend. Who cares about Friday? Who cares about Saturday? Let's look at maybe some potential from Sunday night through Monday into early Tuesday. That front might actually have a better shot at holding together as it moves through the middle part of the country than this initial shot that everybody seems to be talking about. So that's done. Let's move on to the next thing, the cool air coming in across the country. This has been advertised for a while. Now, it's interesting. As you take a look at what's going on across the heart of the country, we're also seeing that temperatures really aren't too bad. They're nowhere near the way above normal temperatures that we saw to finish out this last push of mild air. But generally speaking, we're normal to about 5 degrees below. We are going to stair-step temperatures down a little bit, I think, over the course of the next 4 to 5 days. The coolest day might be pushing in across the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and Eastern Corn Belt, maybe Sunday. And that's when we could see temperatures as much as 10, maybe 12 degrees below normal for this time of year. But still, keep in mind, normals are ratcheting up quickly. Across the Eastern Corn Belt, normals are in the low 50s to low to mid-60s. All right, so we're ratcheting these temperatures up quickly, so it's still not a bad feel out there. The big thing I think we need to talk about along with the air mass change and all of that is the dryness. You know, a large part of the Corn Belt has not seen much precipitation through the month of March, and I don't think we see a lot more through the end of the month. We are in this pattern where there's moisture that comes up the lower Mississippi Valley, comes up parts of the Ohio Valley, mostly to the south in Kentucky and Tennessee, and it hasn't really been able to do much farther north. So this is leading to a lot of net drying out there, even after the snowmelt is done. I think you're going to be starting to see guys really talk about going out and playing in the dirt. Temperatures will probably be a key thing to watch. I don't think we see temperatures go much above normal from now through maybe mid to late April. That means we're looking at a cooler than normal scenario going forward. But if we can be out playing in the dirt, that's definitely going to boost morale and maybe change around some thought processes on what gets planted and what doesn't. So that's a key thing to watch as well. Right now through the next 10 days, I see very little moisture, hardly any at all, coming into the Corn Belt. Models have a split decision about the 11 to 16-day forecast period. The U.S. model, of course, trying to make it wetter. The European not coming along for the ride. Moving into the overseas areas, former Soviet Union areas, we've been talking about this for a while, above normal temperatures and still pretty dry. Well, evidently the above normal temperatures have them thinking about playing in the dirt just a little bit as well. Right now we see the temperatures pulling back just a little bit here over the next week or so. Still averaging, I think, above normal, but we're going to be seeing more days where we kind of poke our nose below. So looking at precipitation patterns, a little bit better. They show a little sign of improvement, at least in terms of somebody getting or everybody getting something. But we're not looking at the good moisture that we would need to kind of start replenishing the soil profile over there. So I still think this is a kind of a hesitate, see what happens kind of event over the course of the next 7 to 10 days. We see quarter inch to third of an inch moisture over probably 75 to 90% of Russian and former Soviet Union grain areas. The extended forecast period probably backs it off again, so we'll have to see whether we can get another front to work in out of Eastern Europe. South America, no major changes there. Going to be warm in Argentina here the rest of this week, above normal. Still plenty of moisture around in Brazil. They're going to have to continue to dodge showers in the key soybean areas there for harvest. But the farther south you go, Mato Grosso do Sul, Paraná, down into south and southeast Brazil, we're seeing bigger windows there. Actually, Mato Grosso do Sul could be drying out quite nicely here over the next 10 days or so. That's the way your forecast is stacking up. If you've got any questions on the weather, give us a call at Allendale. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin.